There you go. Hi guys. I'm waiting for it to pull up on here. There we go.
There we go. Hey, look, we're live, Liz.
Okay, see, it's delayed like 30 seconds, so it throws me.
Right.
Okay. Hi guys, we're gonna wait for people to join in. So.
Right.
Sorry.
So how's your quarantine going?
Yes.
Hi, Sally.
Anyone finished anything yet besides Jen? I don't want to talk about her. Anybody else?
I finished my. But that's a problem though.
I know
It's supposed to be my Corona quarantine project.
Not even started.
Right. So yeah. I guess. Hi, Sabine. I guess I need another quarantine project. Maybe I'll call this next one my spring break project.
You could find something that's like actually complicated. Well, not that wasn't. Hello. But that will take longer.
Right.
Ooh, you should finally do Fancy Forest.
I have not done Fancy Forest.
You've been wanting to forever.
I've been wanting to do Fancy Forest forever. Yeah. You know what I did bring home though? I brought home one of the flags waving kits to do a Cult of Valor.
Oh, cool.
So that'd be fun.
That would be fun.
We'll have it as a sample here in the store for just a little bit, and then as a shop, we're gonna donate
it.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Hi, Debbie.
Okay,
and Dory.
Very cool.
I don't know Dory. Hi from California. How's the lockdown going?
Yeah, are you guys?
I mean, I still get to go outside. I mean, obviously, I'm in the shop.
Sally finished a black quilt.
Yay!
And I know she finished another table runner because she came and dropped it off.
Yeah. We have inside information.
This is true.
We don't use it to trade illegally. Okay. Are we good?
Should we
Let's start. We can start.
All
All
right.
right.
I'm gonna start. Okay, Jen's in charge today.
Hey, Chris, how you doing? Dory says, I'm sure. I'm sorry, California. Lockdown. Yes, Rita and Christy.
Rita's watching from home tonight.
Yeah, she decided to go home after working all day. Weird, I know. Okay, so we are going to do Quilt As You Go placemats. I love a Quilt As You Go project. Hi, Jackie. It's Jackie, right? There. It's got to be Jackie.
Yeah.
I love a Quilt As You Go project, especially for right now for people who are home and people who are super, super stuck at home. Hi, Delma. Hi, Mom.
And who can't get to a long arm.
Right. So the benefit of this is you get to finish it at home on your domestic machine. No special, like, hi, Jill, and Susie, and Dulce. Wow. Hey, everybody. Hola. You get to finish it all at home on your domestic machine. So
this is true.
It's a great quarantine project.
And
hi, Christine.
It's a great project for that jelly roll you have sitting in your stash.
You know how sometimes we buy things and we're like, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with this, but it's pretty. They're just pretty and I want it.
This is a great jelly roll project.
That happens. So if you've got a jelly roll or two sitting around, hi, Cindy, this is a great project for that.
And one jelly roll will make 6 placemats.
So I made 6 placemats. I also did
scrappy binding.
I haven't finished binding, but since we're doing binding on Thursday, I'm not going to feel bad about that.
Yes, we'll talk about
I used my extras from my jelly roll to do a scrappy binding for all of mine. Hi, Bonnie. So, one jelly roll made 6 placemats plus bound them, and I still have a few extra strips, like 3 or 4.
Which is why Liz is making her placemats bigger.
Liz wants bigger placemats.
So Jen made hers 12 by 16.
This is
and
a
the
good
measurements
size
that she gave you are going to make the 12 by 16 placemat. Don't be offended because I'm going to use a little bit different size because I like my placemats 14 by 18.
Placemats. But that's the benefit is this can be any size you want. The technique is going to stay the same.
But there's plenty in a jelly roll for 6 at this size.
Yep.
As well.
Yep.
Backing is... Well, for me, backing is a fat quarter.
Dory, try backing out and coming back in again if you lost sound. Yeah.
What I did is I took home 1.5 yards of fabric and cut it into fat quarters.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're stuck at home and can't get anywhere and you've got a jelly roll and a whole bunch of fat quarters in your stash, find some fun fat quarters that coordinate with your jelly roll and you will magically have backs for all of these. And it's great for batting scraps. I went through my batting bin this morning.
I have so many batting scraps, you know, that are like 12, 14 inches wide that I cut off the end of a quilt. So this is a great way to use that. If you don't have batting scraps, just some nice thin cotton or 80-20 batting will do it.
Yes. I say I've got warm and natural because I had a whole bunch of scraps of warm and natural. So that's what I'm using.
Mine are mixed.
Yeah.
They came from my unidentified bin.
Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm glad you got the sound back.
Hey, Catherine.
Okay.
So,
and, also, really quick. So, jelly rolls are fun. This technique will also work with honey buns.
Honey bun.
So, if you want some skinnier strips for our French braid here, a honey bun would be fun too. Now, they're not going to make as many because they are thinner. So, you'd probably get more like 4 out of a honey bun.
Other fabric for binding.
Yeah, you'll do the same thing. Binding. But it would be fun. So, if you have a honey bun sitting around that you got, this could be a fun project for that. All right. Should we get started?
Sure. Oh, you're the boss.
One more thing. See, I already made mine, and I'm going to walk Liz through this. That's the idea. I'm going to tell her how to do it. Whatever.
She thinks she's going to tell me.
If you have a walking foot, this is a great project for that. If you don't have a walking foot, you can just do it with your regular feed foot.
I'm going to take my 1/4 inch foot off.
However, this, because of all the layers, is going to make things go through a lot smoother, and you're going to have to do a lot less shoving.
I'm going to let Jen put the walking foot
If you've never used a walking foot, it's got this little arm doohickey right here. I'm sure there's a proper name for it. Do you know it?
I call it the arm.
The arm. It is going to go on this lever over here.
Thanks for sharing, Lydia.
If you don't actually put it on that lever,
it won't work.
It won't do you any good.
It doesn't walk.
It's just a big foot. Because see, this lever goes up and down with your needle, and it's what makes these little feet
go up and down.
So,
hello, Naomi. Ooh, you guys.
Slide
we got
this
44
right
people. That's like double the last two. You're making me nervous. Just kidding.
Okay. All right.
So Jen's putting the walking foot on.
I got her walking foot.
If you don't have one, you can do one without a walking foot, but they are helpful.
Right.
So my placemats, we're gonna do them with. Sorry, this is the last one we had, but I wanted it. An April Rosenthal jelly roll from Orchard, her Orchard line. But it has cute little fruits and stuff on it, so it's adorable. So,
really cute for the kitchen.
I know. That's what I was going for, right? So that's what we're going to do. Jen's husband just got
Hey,
on.
Tyce. How you doing?
So, Jen, as you can see, did hers in a rainbow.
Now, that was just because of
the order in which it came off.
and stuff that came with my jelly roll.
Jen used a Farm Girl vintage jelly roll. From, well, it's called a roly-poly because it's
Riley Blake, so it's a roly-poly.
And
2.5 inch strip roll. That's what it is.
Once again, we're out of those two. I apologize.
It's been here for over a year. You had your chance.
This is true.
We really are nice. Sorry about that. Okay, so
it always seems though anytime we take fabric home after it's been here for a year, all of a sudden people want it, and it's just like,
it's been here. Come on.
I waited patiently to take it home. Anyway. So Jen's came out very rainbowish because there were so many colors in that line. This line still has quite a few colors to it, but it's definitely not that full spectrum. So these ones are going to look very different. Now, it all depends on what fabrics you chose, what it's going to do. So like your Summer Breeze right here, that's all blues with a little bit yellow and white. Totally different look to, say, Rue 1800 with its very pastel-y, beautiful, you know. Right. Versus a, let's see.
I want to grab this one. So we have Betty's Luncheonette here from Violet Craft.
That's a full-on rainbow.
This could be very rainbowy. Very fun.
Or there's, Tula Pink, homemade. So you can get really interesting here. So they're all going to turn out really different based on
Goodbye,
how they go. So let's get started.
That's why
this is true. One. You guys wait till I take it home, and then you're like, wait, I want to make that.
Yeah.
It's, like, sorry.
It's okay. Sorry. All right.
Love you anyway,
what Liz did here is she drew her finished size onto her batting.
I used a Sharpie because I want you to be able to see it.
Right.
You don't have to use a Sharpie if you've got a
pen
that's less visible.
Just please, for the love, don't use ballpoint ink. Don't use something that's gonna run once it gets wet, because the kitchen placemat, it's going to get washed.
But I use the Sharpie simply so that you can see it.
You can see it.
That's why it's so dark.
You don't have to outline the outside. I didn't.
I just find, like, for me, that I like
that it works for her. And so if this gives you a good idea to make sure you reach your edges, I trimmed my batting down smaller. So for me, my back was, I cut it to, hi Aunt Sherry. I cut my back to 13 by 17. And then I cut my batting to 12.5 by 6.5.
So which meant there was
So it meant that there was that 1/4 of an inch difference between the batting and the backing. And then I made sure that my pieces for the top covered that, which meant there was plenty. But because Liz's batting here and backing aren't really cut to that size, it's nice to have marked the edges. Oh, pins. Pins are good to have.
I know.
Okay.
I marked the center line, though.
The one thing you want to mark for sure is your center line. You want a nice straight line, top to bottom. I marked mine quite simply by centering it on my mat and drawing a line, so like from here, from this point to this point. A nice straight line, because this is where we're going to get our placement. We could take our rulers and draw 45-degree angles all over the batting. You totally can do that.
Way to do it. You're gonna draw them at 2 1/4 inches apart.
Yeah,
if you do that.
But I'm not gonna. I'm gonna show you a shortcut because I'm all about shortcuts. So, what piece we're gonna start with is a 2.5 inch square. So I will let Liz.
We'll take the first one off the roll.
Oh,
how's that?
Thank you. I like this purple sweatshirt too. Yep, take the first one off the roll. There's your little one. And we'll grab a 2.5 inch square. Honestly, placing the first and the second one are the ones that really matter. After that, it gets pretty obvious where they go.
Help if I could cut.
Wow, Liz, way to go.
I know.
Okay, so I'm going to take her ruler again here for placement. Now, part of the instinct would be to place this point right here, like this. But if we do that, your line is going to be going up the side right here. So really what you want to do is lay this corner to corner on this line that she drew. And you're going to place it about halfway along. So because this is at a 45-degree angle, it actually measures like in 1 3/4 inches wide. So I have it like 7/8 of an inch over from the edge. I'm also using this nice 45-degree angle line on her ruler to line up right here, so that I have the edge of the fabric running along that 45-degree line. So if the first one is placed right, you're good to go.
This is a whole lot like foundation paper piecing.
Right. You got to get it's actually exactly like foundation paper piecing, except we don't sew on lines. So I'm going to go ahead and just pin that in place, getting this pin out of my way. All right, Liz, I need another piece. Ooh, I like that fabric. Oh, you're going to skip it? Okay, we can do a smaller print.
We'll go back to it.
Okay.
What do I need? Like 4
okay, you need 4.5 inches for this next one.
Well, mine's
now
bigger.
Well, not yet, it's not. Okay. Now, this is also like our foundation paper piecing, and if you missed that video, go back and watch it if you get a second. It's okay. If anything, make your pieces long. Okay?
I'm going to go ahead and leave the selvage on because I know it's going to get cut off.
Right. So, you know, I put this on here and it looks like it's way too long.
Okay.
Any questions?
Yes. Show her the alignment close up.
Get close. I'm going to get close.
Because it is confusing.
Okay, folks. Liz, can we see?
You gotta give me a second because I'm on like a delay.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you anyway. So I lined this up corner to corner on that line that she drew. I used the ruler to make sure that this is going up at a 45-degree angle. Most of your rulers are gonna have that 45-degree line on it. That's what this is for. And then I had this to where it intersects this line at about the halfway point. Does that make sense? So about
you want it shifted over. You want it at a 45-degree angle, and then you want it shifted over a little bit, because
if I put this point on the center, then my French braid is going to be going up on the right-hand side instead of being centered on the placemat. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. You'll see in a second, once we get the next piece on, how that lines up with her nice green line. All right, let's just, good stitch length. I don't know. All right, so I'm gonna lay this on, right sides facing. Having this line up here, line up.
Like this.
So I'm entirely covering that up.
With the top of the white piece that we put down. Exactly. The tops match each other.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna pin a couple things, and then once we're done with this too, I'm gonna show you why this piece has to be so long. Sorry.
Is the next one 4.5 too? It is.
No, it's not. It's longer. Read my instructions.
That's way too much work.
You're not going to read my pattern. You're not going to know what I'm doing. Alright. Don't run over pins. Sorry, it's a pet peeve. But then again, I've broken a machine and a bobbin case in the past by doing that, so. That's why you'll still see me stop to pull out pins. I'm pretty fussy about that.
Don't break my machine.
Your scissors are trying to kill me.
Just don't go too fast and they stay right where they are.
Alright. Now we're just going to press that over. So, no question about which direction to press on this one, right?
Yes. It's like foundation paper piecing. You can only press one way.
Right. There's no pressing open on this one. Sorry about that.
To the light or the darker.
Or the darker. You just press to the next. Alright, I'm going to come up front here again and show you. So this one was centered, was on the green line. Now this one is also halfway through on the green line. That way our braid goes up through the center.
Yes. So how long? If you didn't use her measurements, take your ruler, go to the end of that green right there, and then all the way to the far left side to see where it needs to be. So my next piece needs to be 8 inches long. Does that make sense?
Because it needs to cover.
So for Jen, okay, depends on what size you're making. My second piece was 4.5 inches long. My third is going to be 8.5. Yeah. I'm going to say 8.5 just so I have plenty, because
Right, you're always better off erring to the side of
extra.
Plenty.
There's a lot of fabric in this jelly roll, so we're going to be fine.
Right, there's plenty.
Oh, no, that didn't even quite that big. I was measuring from 3 inches, which is what my ruler was. So it could be 7.5.
Why are you placing it there?
Because I'm crazy.
If you're going to make it the size I made it, the measurements for all 17 pieces are in the video description. So.
I had to be difficult.
Oh, Sandra, I miss you too. I haven't seen you like forever. And it's going to be like forevermore. My goodness.
So our kids' school just got
closed. School just got closed till April 20th at least.
They probably more like May.
That's okay. We'll survive. We'll make it through. Okay. Now when you get to the center there, so the tip of the first piece is offset by how much? Good question, Sally. Now when it's up at a 45-degree angle, even though that's angled side measures like 2.5 inches, when it's up at that 45-degree angle, it measures more like 1 3/4. So I offset mine by about 7/8 of an inch. So if you don't want to guess, that's what I did. I offset mine by 7/8 of an inch.
Grab another fabric.
Okay. I want cherries.
Okay.
What was I gonna say next?
Okay, but what you're gonna see right now. Well, that point's off centered. It's off centered. No, that's okay.
Oh, good. So it's gonna keep working its way up here. We're just gonna keep flipping and going all the way through. Yeah, Catherine, if you're making it the size I made mine, it's 2.5 by 6.5 inches.
Mine should have been like 7.5. I made mine.
And I checked my notes, except that my notes are on my phone, which is also what's recording this video right now. Whoops. Sorry about that. And I texted him to you, but we're also watching it on her phone right now. So they're in the video notes. Or description, right? It's called the description.
The one from earlier today?
No, the one, well, I put it in the one earlier, but I also put it in this video description.
Oh, then
right before we went live. So it's there.
It should be there.
Oh, now when you're starting this stitch up here, that's in the middle, I'm gonna recommend you do a lock stitch. You back stitch there once. And that's because, again, it's a placemat. It's gonna get washed. Right? You wanna lock that stitch in, because when we're doing quilting, we use a bit of a longer stitch than we do when we do piecing. And so we want to make sure that we're holding that in. Hi, Tina. I hope that answered your question, Catherine. But yeah. Really, I think I want to say the first 4 or 5 pieces are different sizes, and then they're all like 10.5 inches long until we get to where we're tapering off at the edge. And when you're choosing your thread for this project, you're going to want to get something that matches your back.
I was going to say, you're matching the back, which is not usually the primary.
Right, but that's because what we're doing on the top, because we're folding it the way that we are, you don't see the seam that's quilting it down on the top at all. However, it does show up on the back. I was really grateful that I had a red spool of thread at home, because I don't usually keep a lot of colors and a little more neutral. But I was glad I had it, because the white would have really shown up a lot.
Well, like, I don't typically piece with Glide, but we have it in a lot of great colors, and I do quilt with it all the time.
Right, which is what you're doing.
And we had a Glide thread that was going to go with my green back. Mm-hmm. So that's why I've got...
Do that one. Plaid.
A different thread with a different thread holder.
Ooh, I like that fabric.
I know.
Doesn't that look like fun?
It's all fruits and veggies-ish.
Man. Her new line is so fun, too.
I know. We just ordered her one coming out.
Homestead. It's going to be great. I'm excited for it.
Yes.
We ordered a whole bunch of new stuff the other day. Because, you know.
That's what you do when you can't do anything else.
Fabric keeps coming. Yeah. Right. We just have to order it like 40 bolts at a time.
Yeah.
That's all. Remember when we used to feel like we splurged when we bought a fat quarter bundle?
Yeah.
Then we have a quilt shop. Now it's like, oh, let's just get this collection. Why not send this case back?
Life has changed.
Life has definitely changed. If you have something, if you have like some 505 spray or quilt basting spray at home,
you could baste the back.
You can. That's what I did. I basted my batting to my backing, just so that it would not move at all. Again, not necessary. We're doing without it right now, but
it's one less thing to fuss about.
Definitely one less thing.
If you have it,
if you've got it sitting around, awesome.
If you don't wait to do this project till you get it.
Right, because you can totally do it without. Just be careful that you're keeping all 3 layers together. And honestly, once you get the first couple pieces down, it's not going to shift much on you at all anyway. Especially if you're using a walking foot. Alright, red? Let's try red. How about this one? You haven't used this print yet.
Go ahead.
I'm just going to grab stuff.
That's fine, just cut it. About
ish.
How big was that one? Where's my ruler?
You like my exact measurements right here? I'm gonna cut it to here. But seriously, that's about as exact as you have to be for this. If anything, air towards long, make it plenty long.
The fun thing about this kind of a project is that it can be done with a whole bunch of different patterns.
Oh, tons of patterns.
Like, you could do quilt as you go and just do straight lines if you wanted to do it. You could do it diagonal one way and then bring it off the other. I mean, there's just...
Oh, right. There's so many...
There's no end to ways.
Cabinet. You can
do it
all over the place.
This.
So, they can be all over. Okay. Particular brand of basting spray.
Okay.
I've used two. I've used the pink can of that's literally called Quilt Basting Spray. I like that one a lot. It's a little stickier than the 505, which is kind of nice because it holds it together well. It does tend to gunk up a little bit more. Sometimes I have a hard time with the nozzle falling off and such. And
505 is the one that I hear
505 is less gunky. I don't think the pink one really does gunk up my needle much, but 505 is less gunky. However, it's also not as strong. So when we're doing like the big, sorry, apparently I'm tired. When we're doing the big like minky strip quilts, it's not always strong enough to hold all the layers together when we're doing that quilt as you go. So, in that, for those, I'd rather do the pink one. For smaller ones like this, the 505 also has a bit less stink to it. It's not quite as potently strong and smelly as the quilt basting spray. So,
I need another red.
I guess it depends on what you're doing. Which one do you want?
I don't care. It's going up next to the plaid.
How about fruities?
That's not.
No?
Do the flowers.
We just did this one. Oh, this one. I didn't even see this print. It's because it's next to the pinks. I didn't know there were pinks.
See, because I just did those ones.
So, again, to figure out how long, put your ruler down.
But we're to the side, so they're all going to be about the same.
So at this point, all of hers are going to need to be 11.5 inches long. So that's nice. Now we can do some...
Now she can cut ahead. We can
lots of cutting.
Speed it up.
Right. Boosh. No, this.
Oh. She's been telling me to boosh since, like, middle school. In case you don't know what that means, and you don't speak French.
Hey, my kids know what bouge means.
That's only because you've always said it to them. It means get out of my way, pretty much. It means move.
It means move.
But yeah. It's like...
I'm trying to make my family more cultured by, telling them what to do.
Dad telling me to be quiet in Spanish and things like that.
Hey, my kids all know what kite thing means.
Yeah, well. Anyway. So for those
they also know what andiamo means.
I just say vamos a lot.
Vámonos. That's us.
I know what it means.
But
I took college Spanish too.
I know. I remember you in college Spanish.
I struggled.
It was fun. She's like, what the crap is conjugating? We don't do that. Yes, we do.
I took Japanese in high school, and they don't conjugate verbs. And because I learned English by being born here and knowing English, I didn't know what verb conjugation meant at all. Then I took college Spanish, and I was like, what is all of this nonsense?
It was
Japan
funny.
Also only has like 2 tenses. So it was...
Yeah, Jackie will hold it up in just a second.
Yeah. I thought you were going to cut
Cynthia,
ahead.
you need to come and visit us. Oh, sorry. I'm reading comments and talking to people. That's kind of like working. Kind of.
But not.
I want to use this one. If she doesn't like it, she can cut her own
that
strips.
would be a good one. A busy one would be fine.
Right, because it's next to a non-busy one. No, we're not finger pressing the edges down. We are actually pressing. The iron is right over here.
You can finger press.
You could finger press, but I probably wouldn't because we're going through all the layers.
This is to finish the product.
Because this is finished. We don't press it afterwards at all. So
this is where we are at thus far.
Right.
But you can see our point is about 1/4 of an inch off of the green line that I drew down the middle.
Right.
So it's fairly centered.
Mm-hmm. So, it's coming along. Sorry, our lighting in here isn't great. You need to, like, back up next time.
Sorry. Well, you know, someday we'll have, like, a studio for online tutorials.
I know, one of these days.
That's not today.
No. My brother needs to get busy and come and, like, film us with all his fancy cameras.
Say, did you know I have a brother that makes a living teaching people how to make a living on the internet?
Right.
I need to learn from him.
Right. I got a professional YouTuber in the family.
How to be a professional YouTuber. I know. My husband's always like, why don't you guys just talk to Ricky? I should.
Well, it's because we're, like, busy with kids and life and, you know.
I'm keeping up as best I can as it is. That's why. It's
a bit of work just to, like...
I'm saying, and apparently now I homeschool, too.
Right, and now I'm a homeschooler. So,
not made for that. If you would like to stay pinned, I'm pinning off to the left.
Yeah, so show them that on the next one.
I am not going to sew over my pins at all, and they can stay in on this type of a thing, too.
Yes, that is an option to pin to the left. See if I didn't cut a straight line there.
You fail.
No, I don't. I fixed it. I fixed it. Now it's straight.
Good job.
You're missing your pin bolt. And this one, honestly, the seam allowance isn't a big deal. So, so like on the walking foot here, the walking foot is bigger than the 1/4 inch. You don't necessarily have to stress about.
I'm still using the edge of my foot.
No, I went a little scant because I wanted to stay close to the 1/4 inch. But it's not a big deal. So if you're closer to 3/8 all the way along, oh well, you'll be fine. When you get to those last pieces at the end, those might have to be a little bit longer because they may need to take up a little more space. So if you're not doing a 1/4 inch seam, those might need to be a little longer. But other than that,
getting an accurate 1/4 inch a lot harder while using a walking foot.
Right.
For me.
Show them how you pinned. Oh. Gotta keep her on track.
Okay. So I pinned well off to the left here. So my seam allowance, my seam is going to be right here. So I still have almost a 1/4 inch between the tip of my pin and where my needle from the machine is going to go into the fabric. And because I do this, I don't necessarily have to take my pins out before I sew.
As you go. Yep. So that's a workaround. Get you standing next to me who's going to be like, take your pin out.
Yeah.
Because I'm on her that way.
Well, today she remembers to find where her scissors are.
I found my scissors. I also own 30 pairs.
I was referencing the long arm.
I know where those are. They're right there. Wait.
Jen loses long arm scissors.
Again, you touched them last. It's not my job to know where they are.
More than one time has long arm scissors into a quilt.
It happens.
Sure.
Hey, you couldn't find it last time either. Lock that stitch.
I'm trying.
You know, you could use the flywheel.
I know.
Just making sure.
I got yelled at by somebody on a Facebook group the other day for calling it a hand crank. They're like, that's not the right term. I was like, sorry.
And
it cranks the machine by hand. Not totally sure how so wrong it is, but okay.
You're right. There's not like a handle to totally crank the machine.
Okay, navies.
Navies. Oh, you want me to cut for you
Yes,
again?
I do. And a not busy one.
How about this one?
Sure.
So you keep putting it where I'm cutting. Wow, that needs to be pressed.
Oh. So,
how are they coming?
Anyone else sewing along?
Are you? I want to know.
That would be fun to know. Oh man, that's got some.
I told you it needs to be pressed.
I wasn't listening to you.
Oh, well, that's what you get for ignoring me. So if you're sewing along and making these, we totally want to see pictures. I can't really see any comments right now, but post a picture. I'd love to see what it looks like because they're all going to look so different. Unless you copied me and used the exact same jelly roll, in which case it probably won't look so different.
They could. They could make it all green.
They could.
We'll see. I thought about that with this one. Like I could do an all navy one and an all red one. I clearly didn't do that.
Chris, feel free to message, send a picture with that, and we can take a look and see what's going on. What's up? She says she's not sure she has it lined up right.
Oh.
But yeah, just send us a message and we'll take a look and, once we're
all spun around.
Done with this. Oh, good job.
Ah.
You should hold on to your fabric when you sew.
No way.
Yeah, it helps a little bit.
Good night. You what?
Tell you. No, I don't want to use this one there. If I used it there. Oops, I moved the table.
Right, you were. Have it. This goes against my fabric hoarder or thread.
I know, isn't it a pain?
Tomorrow can be, well, no, because it's binding.
Oh yeah, Thursday we're doing binding, so that's also not going to be chain piecing. We need a chain piecing project just so you and I can be happy again. The last two have been ever so slightly painful. Not that they're not fun to make, but man, I go through more thread. I mean, I had to wind a bobbin.
Yeah.
And I'm used to my,
we have
Susie, I'm going to have a pattern for this up, probably tomorrow, because it's my day off, so I might have time to finish writing it. But we'll get a pattern for it up. And with that, I'm going to have printout so you can draw exactly where the pieces go if you wanted to trace them onto your batting. So I'll have that. Christine. Yeah, that was a fail. We should have done the first piece dark instead of
I know the white
on batting. That was not good for showing people.
Nope.
Anyway, we'll get the placement up here in a minute. Yes, I'll get one for you that you can trace. Tracing is fun, right? I mean, it's easier.
What is it called?
That way, it'll be like the ones we did at the retreat where you just put on the lines. If you came to our last retreat last November, you'll know what I'm talking about.
June Taylor.
Yeah.
June Taylor.
I think
does
so.
Quilt As You Go
mug rugs,
and she does placemats and table runners too. Similar concept as this. You buy the batting that's pre-printed, and so you just have to grab your scraps and sew. Yep. That's we made some Christmassy mug rugs at our retreat last fall. It was fun. Fun. Using this method on the June Taylor printed batting.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah. Okay. Whites?
Oh, are we on to whites?
Yeah.
I'm just here. Best retreat ever. It was fun, huh, Bonnie? We had fun. If you've been around us, you know we take ourselves very, very seriously as human beings. We don't take ourselves seriously at all. Oh, that's what you started with. No wonder there wasn't any. Seriously. It must be, it's been a day. Like, trying to measure.
Upside down?
And I'm cutting upside down towards me. Okay.
You're breaking all the rules.
Don't do what I did.
Find another cream one that's not busy.
This one?
That one would be fine.
That one would be fine.
You know what? I'm going to take my pins.
Please, take your pins.
Over here.
They're kind of in my way.
Goodness.
Anyway.
I feel like we need background music or something.
Right. Well, actually, the thing is, I have background music. Alexa's still on. So I've got some very soft, like, Jack Johnson playing over there. But that's not doing me much good right now because I'm tired, you know? Look, I'm on top of things.
Good job. Now do green ones.
I know. That's what I'm looking for. You know how she had her jelly roll all nice and organized?
It is now a pile.
You see how it's not all nice and organized anymore? That's what she gets for having me cut for her.
I'm gonna
You're gonna go home and mess with it and
make the rest of mine.
Fist it.
Gonna go home and cut it into 11-inch strips and finish these things.
Right. So, I definitely, after making 1 or 2 of these, I just pre-cut the rest of mine, and that went nice and fast.
You're so in my way.
No, I'm out of your way. You're welcome. It was definitely faster to have just pre-cut all of it. All right, Chris, I'll look for that when we're done, and we'll send your message back. Because Liz is actually getting pretty close.
Yeah. But I want to show you guys what it looks like to square it up, because it's definitely
squaring it up is a little tricky.
Far less cool looking with all these selvagey ends hanging off.
But squaring it up can be tricky, so.
I know, that's why I do lines.
Lines! You can be done without lines.
Yeah.
I did mine without lines.
What's your point?
Bonnie, for the size Liz is making, they are 11.5-inch strips. So, on the one I published, that's 12 by 16, you need 10.5-inch strips. This is 2 inches wider, they need to be 11.5-inch strips. And yes, I locked this before I started flinging it around. Just making sure people are comfortable.
You don't want to go to an ER now if you don't have to.
Nah. You'll probably tell me to go home. Like, that's a stupid injury. You'll be fine. Though it did not. Did you stop throwing scissors?
No.
I drove past, like, the urgent care and Meridian.
Mm-hmm.
And they were all, like, intense outside.
The one in Nampa's like that.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, if you need a test done, you don't go in for that. They don't want you actually inside.
Yeah, it's like going to the veterinarian when they think your dog might have parvo. We're going to diagnose you in the car, and if we need you to come in, we're going to sneak you in the back door. Yes, Bonnie.
Yeah. Pretty much like that.
Pretty much like that.
So this is the one downfall to my having drawn a Sharpie. This one cream on cream strip right there, I can see my Sharpie through it.
Yep.
So I drew a Sharpie for you guys. You're welcome.
She won't do it for the next ones at
I
home.
won't do it for the ones at home.
Okay, I'm going to do this one. You've already used it, but there aren't that many greens, and you could use something a little busy right there. We don't want this one.
Yeah, no, not that one.
This is it then.
Okay.
I mean, if your fabric's all dark, Sharpie's going to be fine. Nobody's going to see it. This is not going to cut through the fabric.
No, not really.
Seriously, this is where I love my 3-inch rulers.
I have the 4.5-inch one.
No, but this is where I love these. For these long, thin pieces, and doing this and trimming these up, this is what I used today. I used my 3x12 and my 3x18. Awesome size. This one, I love it. 3x18. Totally. One of the best. Falls into the category of, like, nice rulers to have. Not required to start quilting, but definitely a nice ruler to have.
if you haven't noticed, we've all become Quilter Select converts over here too.
Yeah. Hey, Crystal. Crystal's watching this for Mom's.
Oh, I was like, which Crystal?
The sister Crystal.
The sister Crystal. Got it.
Here you go.
Cutting it close there, babe.
Well, okay. That's because of the size of your thing. You want me to cut you another one?
No, it's okay. It'll be fine. It's just close.
Right, because I can quarter inch there. You'll be fine. Barely, but you'll be fine.
Barely. Okay, so we're getting to the top where our pieces start getting a little smaller.
Right. So we'll go back to measuring. So before she cuts that, I'm going to take a handy dandy little ruler here. We're going to make sure we're at least 1/4 of an inch off over there, at least 1/4 of an inch off over here.
8.5.
The next piece I'm going to cut is going to be 8.5.
No,
so we're definitely shrinking.
It'll be good this way.
I need something taupey. That's not this one. Oh, this one. Alright. Got it. 8.5. Oh, and make sure if you are using the jelly roll, don't use the selvage. Please.
Yes. You'll see all my selvages hanging off. They're extra just because I didn't bother trimming them.
Right. That the selvage should not stay in the finished product at all.
Not use and if you don't know why, selvages are what are used to move the fabric through the machine that prints the print onto the fabric. It is woven tighter,
right,
and
to withstand
all of that movement. And so it will not stretch, it will not shrink, it will not do what the rest of your fabric does.
Mm-hmm.
And so, same story if you're piecing a quilt back.
Yay, Tammy!
Feel free to use the selvage to get a straight line and then trim it off. Because it's not going to stretch with the rest of the fabric.
Please don't leave it in the middle of the quilt back. You are going to be very unhappy after you wash it if you do that.
And I'm going to be unhappy trying to get it on the long arm because it won't stretch evenly.
Yep. Don't do it. It's not fabric. It doesn't count.
I use it to get my nice straight lines, and then I trim it off. So I'll have my selvage end, and sew in like 1.5 inches.
Right. And then I snip it and rip it.
Pull the or I just take my rotary cutter and pull it all off. Anyway, but the point is, selvages don't go into
any finished product. I mean, I shouldn't say any finished product. I've seen a lot of really cute sewing mats made out of selvages.
Or full selvage products. Like, I've seen people make pillows and all sorts of cute things of all selvages, and it's adorable. Mm-hmm. But mixed with a bunch of cotton in a project,
not a good idea.
No bueno.
Oh, hold on. Put that over there, and I'm going to put the plaid over here, so this plaid isn't on both sides.
Okay.
It matters.
Oh, yes, I can do
You can do both at the same time. Once you get to the top here, you could pin both sides at once. It's kind of awesome. It means we're getting close to the end. You're going to have more pieces than I did.
Yeah, mine's bigger than yours.
No. She can't do anything like I tell her to. Alright, red. I'm going to do pink. We haven't used this one.
So we haven't used any pink yet.
Well, it's because this is the only one.
Okay,
this is kind of pink.
Well, then put it on this side. And then do a red over there.
Okay. I can do that.
Because that's kind of pinky.
It is kind of pinky.
And I'm going to pin 2 at once.
Right? Isn't that fun? And if you start here, you can go this way and skip. A little bit of chain piecing.
Kind of.
A little bit.
Faux chain piecing.
Faux chain piecing. Whatever. Makes us happy. Oh, this one's kind of pinky. Not very pinky. Alright. Oh, is your pedal running away?
Travel. What?
Nothing. Nothing. Staying awake. Trying to stay awake. Finished a project today. Well, I suppose you could do this with Minky. However, I wouldn't. For 2 reasons. One, it's a placemat. So, it doesn't really need to be cuddly. And 2, Minky's not great to press because it's poly. Machine's being weird. However, this method is exactly the method we use to do the Minky strip quilts. It's the same thing. We're sewing all 3 layers, quilt as you go, working our way out.
If you don't know what a Minky strip quilt is, we can show you.
I'm going to show you.
So,
oh, look, there's one right there.
I know. So I was going to say, there's one over there. Why don't you go get it?
Okay. This is a Minky strip quilt. Okay. So it is Minky on the back, batting. Please include batting with your Minky. The Minky weave is too thin and loose to not have batting as a stabilizer if you're quilting it. And then there's these Minky strips on the front. To make this type of a quilt, you start with the centerpiece, this one. You're going to glue baste it down with some 505 or quilt basting spray. Then you're going to sew this one on right sides facing, just like she's doing on the placemat. Sew a 1/2 inch seam because it's Minky and it's a loose weave.
Yes, 1/2 inch on that one.
And then you're going to flip it out.
Sure.
And do the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one. So this is also a great at-home
quilt as you go
project. This can all be done on a domestic machine. I mean, I did my son's on my old Singer 1591 that's in a cabinet because that sucker's a workhorse. But totally domestic machine. I've made several of these at home. So, another thing to do if you get bored, we have them already kitted. You would just need
backing.
The kit and the back. The back is usually 2 or 2 1/4 yards of any Minky. And then you would need a twin size batting.
We have baby sizes too.
Oh, we do a smaller size Minky pedal kits.
But it's another fun quilt as you okay.
Quilt as you go.
I don't know that it's fun. It's a great project because the finished product is awesome to have.
It is.
In the meantime, you do have to work with Minky.
And it's a mess.
Y'all know I love Minky on quilt backs. No secret there.
Right.
Sewing with it on a domestic machine is a whole lot more work.
You gotta pin it. You need long pins to do it.
It's
the flower head ones are good.
It's fuzzy.
A walking foot is pretty much necessary.
Actually, if you cut all your strips and then throw them in your dryer
with a dryer sheet,
then it's a whole lot less horrible to work with and messy along the way.
And honestly, we're having decent weather. Cut your strips outside.
That too.
You done?
I don't know. I need to flip it open and see if it made it to the corner. It'll get lost in the binding. We'll see.
Close enough. Now I get the pins back. I'll get them back to the long arm. That's where they belong.
So, I forgot pins, so I borrowed the ones from the long arm.
Oh, you want us to do a tutorial on the Minky strip quilt?
Oh my gosh.
Maybe. Let me think about it.
We'll see how long this whole sequestered nightmare lasts.
Quarantine.
Okay, so here's my placemat. You can see I'm off the corner by about 1/8 of an inch. That's going to get lost in my binding, so I'm not going to attach another piece.
You're going to let it go?
In order to do that. Because
I should not grab your drink.
No, please. Anyway, but because of it, I can see my green little marker. So, I know exactly where to square it up.
And there we go. That's a big piece for your bowl.
It still works for the bowl. Okay.
Oh, and Bonnie, with the Minky strip quilts, they come with instructions in the kit. But also, if you have questions, we've all made them.
This is true.
So, we can definitely help. I'd say, you know, like we've done in the past with other people, come on in and cut it out, but
you can't
say that now.
The city will get mad at us.
We have to behave so the city lets us stay open.
Yeah. Say, wish our luck, and we end up closed, so.
Oh, Mary Kay wants a demo on the Minky strip quilt, too.
Good night. You just signed up for that.
Crud.
Well, my husband wants one, so I guess.
Right. I mean, Sophie kind of stole mine, so I haven't
made one for Eric yet. So, Maybe we could.
I made ones for 3 out of 4 of my kids. My 4th kid stole mine. Not that I don't love her and didn't intend to make her one. It's just, she just turned 4 and she still carries around her, thanks, Catherine. She still carries around her, baby quilt. So, I didn't think she needed one, but then she decided she needed one. She stole mine. That's okay. Did you see the new rose one? So cute.
I don't think Eric's gonna want that one.
Eric doesn't want the rose one?
Oh, I guess it's fine.
They have a new one with, all leopard print.
No.
Let's make that for Eric. It'd be awesome.
Yeah.
With the Lux leopard on the back. It'd be great. Eric, I've got something
feel
for
of
you.
it, but he would.
Oh, it's gonna be awesome.
Ta-da!
Ta-da!
Okay. So it's all squared up. Stand back a little bit. You see it?
Mm-hmm.
Right here. I'm going to show you my back. It's not perfect because I need to trim a few of the... You can't see it. Sorry, guys. The light sucks.
Yeah, we need to scoot back.
There's the little intersecting lines, but the back is technically all quilted. Now, if you want them quilted denser, feel free to do some straight line quilting or whatever you want
on the
inside
top.
of there.
However, it is quilted.
You can see where that piece wasn't quite long enough right there, but it's going to get lost in the binding, so I'm not going to stress about that either. But,
yeah, but that's done. So now that just needs to be bound. Same with, my stack right here. Need to be bound.
So, okay, there's your size comparison. 12 by 16 and 14 by 18.
12 by 16, 14 by 18. Those are the size differences. We are going to be doing binding on Thursday, since that's been requested by a few people. So Thursday night, 7 o'clock. Got a couple things to bind here, so we'll show you. We'll make sure we cover how to finish off your binding.
Corners.
How to miter the corners beautifully.
Maybe we'll even do machine.
Maybe we'll do one machine bound just to show you how it's done. Liz and I both prefer to do hand binding, so I can't say I won't take out my stitches and
I might
do
let
it by
mine be
machine.
machine bound. We'll see.
But that's because I love handwork, so
yeah,
I'm a hand binder. But I know a lot of people either can't do that or you got to finish it fast. So we will have some machine demos on that. I think we'll go ahead and make sure that one of us is operating the camera a little more so we can get in close when we do our corners and stuff.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I don't think so. So placemats.
Anyway, so I will, grab a jelly roll. We've got lots. All kinds of fun jelly rolls here.
And if you need batting, we got crib size battings too. So.
Right, crib size bats, they're like $11, so good options if you don't have it sitting around. Cotton bat is perfect. It's going to wash well with, or even the 80-20. Either one would be a good option.
I wouldn't go full on super synthetic or anything.
No, I wouldn't go poly or wool or any.
I wouldn't do anything thick either, just because it's.
You want it to be flat. So, 100% cotton or 80-20 would be the goal.
And there's a project for you.
And there's a project. Have fun with us. Feel free. If you have a question, shoot us. You can message us on Facebook. So send us a message. Feel free to ask it.
I will try and get back to you.
Get a pattern up. Don't look at 8 a.m. But by tomorrow afternoon.
We do have, small children and lives at home
my kids are going to be like, hey, Mom, let's go do this.
Yeah. So, but we'll get it to you.
We'll get all the instructions written out for you. And also, stay tuned to Facebook or Instagram. We are going to
announce
a little contest soon.
Yes. So we have a contest coming up. Today is also our 1-year anniversary of being in this building.
And our 2-year anniversary from opening.
But it's hard to have an anniversary sale party in the shop.
Right.
When there's
we can't have 10 people and you have to stay 6 feet away.
So
we're not doing.
Sarita did send out an email earlier today, or was it you? Somebody sent out an email earlier today We've got some extra sales going on. We've got some shop samples on sale for 40% off some of our finished quilts.
Great, if you want some of our finished quilts.
And so look for that email. If you didn't get it, let me know.
We can shoot it out again.
I will try and post coupon codes in the morning again. Reminder, coupon codes are good online, not in the shop.
Please don't come in the shop and ask us to use them.
I really love you guys, and that's not to be mean. It's to try and get you to shop online and then just pick it up for your safety and mine and everybody else's.
And because we want to stay open. I mean, that's a lot of it.
The more people are in the shop, the more likely it is
they're going to say we're non-essential and we have to close. And we don't want to do that.
So if we can...
Because we can still fill orders and do curbside and stuff if we can stay open.
We can keep as many things to pick up as possible. That's what we'd like to do.
Right.
So, lots of love. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for watching. We will see you Thursday night, and we will bind away. And, if you don't have binding clips, you might want some. Because that is the only binding tool I think people really need. Right? We don't need red
I will
rollers.
tell you, this sounds really snobby, the cheap ones are not as good.
Right.
Well, I know everyone's like, they're half the quarter the price on Amazon.
The springs are weaker.
And they'll work fine for a while, but they don't hold as strong and they definitely don't last as well as the Clover ones. So take advantage of our 25% off Notions coupon code and get the good ones.
Right.
Because,
hey, we have Tulo, Terry. Order away. So, take advantage. 25% off Notions right now, so it's a great time to stock up on those things. All right. Good night, y'all.
Yeah. We're going to go home.
Right.
See ya.